Hi, welcome to another day of Math Notes. These Math Notes, I'm actually going to start with some words of wisdom that I have kind of discovered as a teacher. So here's your first one. Laugh, and the class laughs with you, but you get a detention alone. Here's your other one to think about. Playing hooky is like a credit card. Fun now, pay later. Alrighty, so again, words of wisdom. Let's go ahead and start talking about quartiles and box plots, okay, also known as box and whisker plots. So our first notes, we talked about some types of visual representation, or histograms, for instance. There's other things out there like stem and leaf plots, and this one is going to be box and whisker plots. So it is how a data set is distributed, and it can come in a form of a box plot. We create a box plot by dividing the data up roughly into quarters by finding quartiles of the data set. Okay, so here your English skills will come into play on that. So shown below are scores of 16 students, that's important, that they received on a maths quiz. And so these are your notes, so I tried not to make it too challenging. All the numbers are placed in order for you. If for some reason they are not placed in order, that is something that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to rewrite all the numbers in order from least to greatest. So the first question I have for you is, what is the median of this data set? The median is also known as your middle number. Now, knowing that there are 16 students, halfway of 16 is 8. So I can count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But since it's an even number, I can count 8 from the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have two middle numbers. So when we have two middle numbers, so first let's write this down. What we're going to do is we're going to add them together and then divide by 2. And then I get 73 and a half. I'm going to go ahead and mark that my median is right here. The next thing we're going to do is find the range of the data set. Remember that range is defined as the difference between the largest data value and the smallest data value. So 98 minus 52 equals 46 points. Part C, what is the median of the lower half of this data set, also known as the first quartile, quartile 1, or just lower quartile. Okay, so the median of your bottom set of your data, so this is going to be in between 52 and 73. Knowing that we cut this in half, we have 8 numbers right here. So we can do the similar thing that we did before where we count over 1, 2, 3, 4. We know 4 is halfway, but 1, 2, 3, 4 will have 4 in the other direction as well. So right here is that first quartile, or Q1, and we'll write down Q1, and we're going to do the same thing that we did for Part A, is we'll go ahead and add these together, divide by 2, and we come up with 67. Now these are your notes, so you do need to make sure that you write everything down. Part D, it says, what is the median of the upper half of this data set, also known as the third quartile, also known as your upper quartile. Okay, so we're going to, again, divide this data into fourths. And so the last fourth that we need is halfway in between the middle and the last number. Again, we have 8. I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4. And I know I have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the other direction. So this is the halfway point. So for Q3, since I have an even set of numbers, I'm going to take my middle two numbers, 82 and 84, divide by 2, and I get 83. Now, we worked with a set of data where everything was even. If we had an odd set of numbers, let's say 17, then we would have a 1 middle number. And so we don't have to go through where we add them together. If we have 1 middle number, then that is our median. Now when we would divide this data set into quarters, okay, to find our lower quartile, upper quartile, we would not use that middle number. We only use it if we can evenly divide in half. Okay, let's go ahead and do exercise number 3. Okay. The first and third quartiles are sometimes known as lower and upper quartiles, respectively. The quartiles, the median, and the lowest and highest values in a data set comprise what is known as the 5-number summary. This can be graphically represented on a box plot. This type of plot is sometimes known as a box and whiskers plot. We're going to use the same data from part 1 to construct a box plot on the number line below. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to number our number line. So I'm going to start with 50 because 52 is our smallest. Then this would be 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and write out our numbers. So our minimum, our smallest number is 52. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that right here. And either I would write the number or just state that this is my minimum. The next data point is going to be quartile 1. That's 67. So 67 probably right about here. And I'm going to label that as Q1. My median is 73.5. So 73.5. I'm going to label that as my median. Then my third quartile is 83. So right about there, Q3. And then our last number to get all 5 numbers is our maximum, which is 89. And so 89 is probably right about there. And I'll label that as max. To finish this off, I'm going to draw my box. This is my box. And these are my whiskers. Okay? So as neatly as possible, you'll find that on your homework, I am going to require that you label that the min, scoop my paper up just a tiny bit, the min is 52, Q1 is 67, your median is 73.5, Q3 is 83, your max is 98, okay? Let's go ahead and flip it over. So what we're going to do is when I see you in class, we'll do this next box and whisker plot together, okay? But let's go ahead and answer some questions for exercise number 5 based on a box and whisker plot already created for us. So we have 20 of Mr. Omet's physics students recently took a quiz. The results of this quiz are shown in the following box and whiskers diagram. Assume that all scores are whole numbers. What is the median score on Mr. Omet, his math test? Our median, so remember this is our min, Q1, median, Q3, and our maximum. So the median would be right about here. And let's go ahead, let's see if this is 70 to 80. This must be 72. So the median must be 71. Part B, what is the range of the scores on Mr. Omet's physics test? So my highest number, this is 80, 82, 84, minus my smallest number, so 50, 52, this is 54, so that must be 53. If I find the difference, I would get 31 points. What score was greater than or equal to 75% of all the other scores on this quiz? Okay, so remember that this box and whisker plot is divided up into quarters, okay, thus quartiles. So from my min to Q1, that's 1 quarter. Q1 to my median is another quarter. Median to quartile 3 is my third quarter, and then my last quarter is from Q3 to my maximum. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Quarters are about 25%, so I have 25, 50, 75. So to get my 75% of data, I need Q3, okay? That's 75% of my data. So Q3, so this is 70, 72, 74, 76 is my answer here. And part D, Mr. Omet regularly sets the passing grade on his quizzes to be the score of the lower quartile. What is the passing grade on this quiz? Remember that the lower quartile is also known as Q1. Q1, this is 60, 62, 64 is 64. Okay. And the last one that I have is, which of the following box plots show a data set with the greatest median? Okay, so remember the median is in the middle of each box. To figure this one out, we have to use the number line to help us read and write this down. So if I have 20 to 40, the middle here must be 30, and that is also my median. For number 2, this goes to 50, so let's see, does it go up by 10? So 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50, it does. This one I stated was 40. So on this grouping, this number line from 10 to 20, this looks like it goes by 2. So 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, I'm correct. So that must be 22. And then the last one from 5 to 10, this one must go by 1. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely. Okay, so greatest median, that is answer number 2. Okay, hey, that's it for these notes. I'll see you guys next time in class.